we examine, for example, the damaging and artificial separation of nature and culture. In our methodology, we also wanted to move away from thinking in binary terms when it came to the virtual and what many call the real or real life. So we acknowledge that the digital and the virtual bleeds into effects and is present within the real or within real life. And we've attempted to reflect this throughout what we're offering in this exhibition. So firstly, we commissioned the Colombian artist David Medina to make a bespoke platform through which audiences everywhere in the world can see the exhibition. So on the platform, audiences can view all the artworks on display. So Emilio, if you go, yeah. So you can see all the artworks on display. Emilio, if you just enter one of the artworks, yeah, like that one's perfect. They can also see, read more about the artwork, get more information about the artwork, and also read more about the artists themselves. In addition to this, through the platform, you can enter a digital screening room. And in the screening room, you can view all the video works that are available within the gallery, as well as works that are only available on the platform. So works that are only available on the digital platform and that we'll be discussing through further events that I'll talk about shortly. Finally, yeah, you can enter and you can view and enter our month-long program of events that examine a lot of themes, such as looking at river communities in Latin America, river infrastructures, as well as the mutual well-being of human bodies and bodies of water. And there you can see all the events that we're going to be holding within the next month. And as you can see, you can join the Zoom session there. And we invite you all to come put it in your gallery and put it in your diary, sorry, and join us there. Finally, within the gallery space, like I mentioned, we really tried to have the digital reflected and present within the gallery space. So we decided to print QR codes that direct our gallery audiences to videos within our platform, in which they can, so videos in which the artists in the exhibition give personal accounts of their artworks and their practices. So Emilio, if you look at, for example, Leonel's artwork, down at the mosaic. Amazing. So this is an artwork that's on view in the exhibition. If you go down, you can also see a video that the artist recorded in which he discusses the artwork and his experience making the artwork, which is part of a long series. So yeah, overall, I think we wanted to ensure that the digital aspect of the exhibition felt as important as the physical aspect of it. And so to get sort of the full experience of the exhibition, we think it's important to see both, but yeah, both are also unique experiences. Yeah, so thank you. I'll just pass you on to Emilio now.
Okay, thank you, Diego. So I'll give a bit of context. And so, okay. So Entre Rios started back in 2018 through a series of interdisciplinary projects that resulted in many artworks and publications that are featured today in Entre Rios platform. But it was around February last year when we were getting ready to organize a series of trips with various artists to produce a series of works at the Usumacinta River in Mexico, the Rímac in Peru, and the Bogota River in Colombia. The artists were ready to travel when COVID put a pause on the projects. We could not travel or leave our houses. We were forced to ask ourselves how to approach bodies of water from a distance, how to be intimate with them without being there. The artists, some of whom had never visited these rivers before, had to produce something, sitting on their computer, keyboard in hand, researching online, imagining, drawing, speculating. That is why we decided to nurture an online community where we could share our progress, discuss and share experiences. That became entrerios.net, an online platform dedicated to the artistic knowledge of rivers. You can visit today and see great projects by various artists, some of whom are here joining us today and that are part of this show. We thank them all for their effort. But today we inaugurate the first exhibition curated by Entre Rios in collaboration with the Art Exchange. You are welcome to visit after this talk. That's the site that Diego just showed. This, we hope, is the first of many projects to come. We invite you to participate, collaborate, debate, discuss, and permeate. There are many events coming. In September, we invite you to an online seminar hosted by El Museo del Chopo in Mexico. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to the newsletter so the community can expand. You can see so here you can subscribe and sorry, I can't click it, but anyways, okay. So now I'll play a video. I'll play the video before going to Genietta's. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks, Emilio. So, hi everyone, welcome. I'm Lisa Blackmore. It's really lovely to see so many familiar faces with us this evening. I want to say a couple of things about the activity we're going to do together today. So in Entre Rios, we really take seriously the idea that the body is the first interface through which we produce knowledge. The first project that we ran in Colombia in 2018 with Maria Fernanda Dominguez and a host of other collaborators was centered around engaging with sustainability challenges in rivers, where we walked with those bodies of water, we immersed ourselves in them, and we came as close to them as we could. It's from sensory experience that we learn. Our own bodies take the form of that learning, expressing somatically the impacts of our interpermeations with and in the world beyond us. On a cellular level, our bodies have their own intelligence and their own memories. They react and they respond. They return to the source and they repeat. They can also change and adapt. Bodies of water too know how to do these things. Even when channelized and straightened by hydroengineers, rivers will always try to find ways back to their original course. They remember, they learn, they adapt, they find ways to bring oxygen back to stagnant waters, they heal. In the hyper-developed attention economy we live in, everything is sped up. This is part of the root cause of the current pandemic and the ecological malaise of which COVID is just another symptom. Right now, when direct contact with rivers and with each other is impossible or at best tricky, we need other channels where we can feel and think together, where we can create deltas that connect our communities to slow down, to listen, to breathe. We really hope that live streams will open those channels, which is why we're delighted to have you with us tonight for a first collaborative exercise in moving our flows together, led by Genietta Varsi. Genietta studied sculpture at the Faculty of Art and Design in the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Lima. And through her practice, she researches how matter, how bodies shape and transform the environment with their behaviors and how they are transformed by it. With Entre Rios, she's led breathwork exercises that explore continuities between human and liquid flows. And tonight, she's produced a brand new Breath Flows workshop for us. Genietta's going to lead us in 2 different exercises which we'll participate in together. There'll be a very brief pause between the 2 of these exercises. Each of them lasts about 10 minutes. We really welcome you to keep your videos on. In the second exercise, Genietta will signal to you, you can unmute yourselves, because the idea is that we hear each other. She'll give you a cue for that. And of course, if you don't want to turn them on, it's absolutely fine. It's entirely up to you. Once we've completed those 2 activities together, those 2 exercises, we'll open a space to share our reflections on the experience. So thank you very much, Genietta, and we'll hand over to you.
Breath Flows Workshop. Welcome to Breath Flows, a space-time to put air in motion. We are going to air and ventilate our bodies, rooms, cities, ideas, atmosphere. We'll produce 2 types of breath flow with our body systems. If you feel any discomfort at any point, just stop and breathe normally. I'll share some sensations and ideas so you can respond to them in your own way, moving your body and finding a rhythm to manage your breath flows. At times, my instructions will be clear and direct. You can follow them and use the video as a guide for your own movement. At other times, the instructions will take the form of thoughts or suggestions that are open for your body to interpret. Find a comfortable place. We will sit down, stand up, roll around, so make sure you have enough room and, if you can, have a mat ready. Thank you for giving me this time and for taking time to move and attend to your own flows. Let's get started. Navigating the horizon. Sit back on the floor with your legs crossed and relaxed in a comfortable position. Put the backs of your hands together and place them at your heart center, extending your forearms to mirror the shape of your diaphragm, the body's horizontal axis, the muscle that aids breath, expanding and contracting the cavities in the torso and the abdomen. As you inhale, take the air into your abdomen. Exhale. Inhale now, moving the air up into your chest. Exhale. Feel how the pressure changes in your thoracic and abdominal cavities, divided and changed by the diaphragm. Switch where you take the air with each breath, moving between chest and abdomen. Inside our body live microorganisms, and our body is a microcosmos. Let's think about the body as a world in itself, a body world. The sensations in our organisms resonate in other living creatures, in bodies of water, and in the entire ecosystem. All life is connected in a symbiosis between bodies, in a network of connections where the micro and the macro affect each other. The diaphragm is the body's horizon, dividing chest from abdomen, sky from ground, gas from solid. In the sky, in your chest, you move and process gases. You take in oxygen from the atmosphere and you exchange it for carbon dioxide you need to expel. That exchange maintains the right balance of nutrients and toxins in your body to generate and regenerate your vitality and strength. The flows of gas inside you move, exchange, nourish, intoxicate other living beings, liquid, earthly, and celestial bodies. On the ground, in your stomach, you move and process solid materials. Minerals, vitamins, protein, and carbohydrates are divided up and distributed in different parts to extract the nutrients you need and expel the toxins you don't. Liquids or waters unite the sky and the ground. The body's blood vessels, its internal rivers, enable circulation, flow, movement, and transport. We are going to sense the effect of a lack or excess of nutrients and pollutants in our body worlds. We'll feel how the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide affect our organisms by changing how we take them in, contain, and expel them. We will be balanced and nourished bodies, and we will be unbalanced and polluted bodies. Sit on the floor with your legs crossed, your hands on your knees, your palms facing upwards towards the sky. Inhale and exhale through your nose, sensing into movement and the effect of the breath on the body, how it feels to inhale and how it feels to exhale. We prepare ourselves for an intense sensation, taking our bodies to their limits, to a state of intoxication. We recognize the sensations that emerge in our bodies, the pain, discomfort, energies, and reactions. If you feel discomfort at any point, just stop and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Prepare yourself. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath, filling your belly and then your chest. Inhale until you can move and expand your ribs and push into your intestines. Your skin stretches, you inflate, you're a globe. Hold the air in. Close your mouth and throat. Hold the air in your thorax. Feel the pressure. Feel how you float, you lift up. We are reaching the sky, we are flying. Your body's tolerance of carbon dioxide starts to wane as the discomfort increases. Slowly, rotate the palms of your hands to face towards the ground. We start to drown, to sink. Hold on a little longer. Feel the sensations. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Recover. Return to your normal breath flow. Let's repeat the same breath cycle, knowing what awaits us. We have sensed our own limits. Now we will try to push them. Place your hands, palms upwards to prepare to elevate. Inhale more slowly. Feel your body inflate, expanding its size and the space it occupies. Begin to separate yourself from the ground, begin to float. Close your body's orifices, hold the breath and contemplate. Contemplate the movement of stillness. Feel how you float. When you start to feel discomfort, you turn your palms back toward the ground. Keep holding the breath in. Feel how you drown. Feel the pollution, how your body confronts it, what is tensed, what is relaxed, where your mind travels. Gradually exhale, inhale, recover your vitality, breathe. Let's reverse the exercise. This time, you won't hold the air in your body. You won't take it in. Prepare yourself by inhaling slowly and exhaling long and slow. Close down your eyes and drop into the body. Let's begin. Place your hands palms upward. Inhale slowly. Feel how your whole body is nourished as you take in air. Now exhale all the air, breathing out through the mouth with your teeth together, making a shh sound. Deflate yourself. Exhale all the air. Help to push it out by contracting your abdominal muscles and pressing them against your spine. Stop breathing. Feel the relief of not having toxins in your lungs. This is a moment to pause, to float in levity, to be so light the wind can move you. Gradually, the body starts to feel weak, hungry, thirsty, in need of oxygen. You start to fall down to the ground, your palm turns toward the earth, you sink, you drown, your body is buried. Pain flows through every vessel. The body asks you to open your mouth and inhale again. We gasp for air. We come back to life. Breathe normally. Come back to balance. Repeat the same cycle, trying to make it longer, dropping deeper into the sensations, deeper into the pain. Inhale slowly, gently, deeply, moving each muscle and expanding your belly and ribcage. You are nourished, you are full, you feel strong. Exhale slowly, let the air go gradually, knowing you will miss it. You are empty, you are weightless. Gravity doesn't move you, you are floating in plenitude. Relish this feeling. Feel the body, how it adapts and how it is affected by the lack of oxygen. You know you have control. You are not afraid, but you feel the pain, the absence of breath. You hold on, you bear the pain. Your palms rotate now toward the ground. You sense how the blood cannot distribute oxygen to the body's every living cell. You fall, you crash, you sink, you're buried. We die. We come alive again. We breathe, we inhale, and we pulsate again. We realize that in breath, in inhaling and exhaling, we are movement, we are space and time, we are pulsating. We are alive, we are strong, we are energy. Through our bodies, we have sensed what it is like to be nourished, to be enlived, strong in fullness. We have sensed pollution, a lack of nourishment, an excess of toxins, their impacts and sensations in the living body. We have sensed the forces that work in opposition and balance. Now, let's recognize in waters, grounds, skies, and in living bodies how today we are drowning and burying ourselves. Let's breathe considering our environment and what lives in it. We consume, produce, and expel matter in interspecies communion. We are not individuals. We are multitude dynamic, open, and interdependent with every part of the planet. Let's move flows and ideas. Take a moment to think about this experience, the sensations you felt. Now, let's begin the second exercise, being wind. For this exercise, please turn on your microphones and videos so we can hear and tune into each other. We are standing up, breathing with intention. Place the palms of your hands together, bring them towards your face. Make a fist with each hand, but leave your thumbs and first fingers extended. Bring each first finger towards a nostril, placing it almost inside. Sense with your fingers the movement of air that comes in and out. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, softening your lips without opening them, and feeling how the air pushes your lips and makes them vibrate. Repeat this at your own pace. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, changing the shapes of your lips as the air comes out. Play with different intensities and rhythms of the breath flow. Try something different each time you exhale. Change the shape of your mouth and notice how this affects the sound, intensity, and direction of the air that flows out. Listen, sense it. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth, forcing the air out now. Place your hands next to your body relaxed. Keep inhaling and exhaling, increasing the force of the air with each exhale, making more noise. With each exhale, the noise takes more shape, gains more intention. With each inhale, we consume and produce what is outside us. The air passes through the nostrils, through the windpipe, into the lungs, massaging organs, moving muscles in the torso, traveling through the entire body in the blood. We tense and relax. It's a movement of continuous coming and going. One becomes part of the other. The body ingests the outside, senses it, takes part of its oxygen, and incorporates it. When you breathe in, you smell, listen, taste, see, feel, and become aware. Think about what you will expel through your mouth. Think and decide what form the air we expel will take, how its form will enter the outside and transform it. With each inhale, we absorb air from the outside. With each exhale, we expel the air inside us. We exhale a volume, a sound, pressure, friction, force. In each exhalation, the lips draw together and adapt to the shape of we want to expel. You can open your lips, separate them, tense them, lengthen them, contract them. It can be a moan, a whisper, a shout, a wail, a celebration, an act of care. Each of us will expel and vibrate in our own way, based on our gut feelings. You can use your hands to change the sound, putting your fingers in front of your mouth or moving your lips. We keep absorbing the outside and expelling it from inside us. The atmosphere inside, the guts outside. We gradually find our own sound. We hear each other, we sense each other, we inhale each other. Gradually, we find a common rhythm, an awareness that we are sharing the same time, the same space. Today, we are separated, isolated, divided, locked down, but we are in the same place, on the same planet, sharing this same atmosphere. We are connected by the sound, the air, because we are alive, pulsating together. Let's listen to each other, vibrate together. Gradually, try to find a common vibration so the waves we emit start to converge in the same frequency, the same amplitude, in an unison that is multiple, expansive. Let's make that individual vibration a collective vibration as our own waves come together, meet each other, aligning in their shapes. We are the same body, the same system. Let's sound ourselves together in our belonging to the same space, the same life, the same time, vibrating together. Let's be wind. Let's gradually find silence and reach a subtle state of breathing. Now you can relax, and that's it with the exercises in breathing. Thank you.
Thank you, Genietta. So what we'd like to do is encourage people to stay unmuted and to share any thoughts or reflections that that have come out of that experience, you can also use the chat as well. We can learn on Zoom. Heather, I don't know if you're talking, but you're muted. So just unmute and we'll hear you. There you are.
How about that? I really loved that sequencing, and I really thought it was wonderful being part of the elements while I was actually doing the breathing. I think it was the pattern of the whole process was perfect, and I felt that the experience was really deep, and it did make me feel very connected, even though I'm on Zoom. I do find it easy to connect to people, but I really felt that was, I guess there's lots of people from lots of different places here, and I'm on a phone and I just feel part of the whole process. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to hear that.
That's really lovely.
So we have a comment in the chat from Kate, who's saying that she's wondering why after breathing exercise it feels so difficult to speak. I'm reading this in case people on phones don't have contact with their chat. Personally, she says, I found the first one too uncomfortable because I don't like sitting cross-legged. I love the standing up that felt more powerful and connected, reaching out with my breath to the others.
I agree with the finding it difficult to speak. I feel like I'm recovering from the drowning still. I can feel it in my chest still.
One of the experiences we've had in this group doing similar work with Genietta before has been to bring in hydrobiologists to talk to us about the pulsations of actual rivers that are experiencing profound contamination. And a lot of the scientific data is kind of often quite abstract, but one way that we found into understanding it from, as people from the humanities largely within the group is to precisely try and create these segues into that experience of the privation of oxygen, which is principally one of the things that mitigates river health, and the ways in which rivers find moments of respite to oxygenate, and in so doing to return to some degree of homeostasis, of some degree of balance and health, and in a sense kind of that deep dive into the body. It may not be the experience that everybody has, but I found it to be really useful in entering the scientific dimension of what it means to be contaminated, what it means to be polluted.
Dog agrees.
Sorry?
No, I just said the dog completely agrees.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
It's interesting, isn't it, how you feel that the kind of constriction and expansion through the breath, and it's and that kind of pain and that toxicity with the way in which you're controlling and choreographing the breath like that. That was interesting for me. I'm kind of acutely aware of the kind of difficulty with breathing at the moment because I had the jab yesterday, so I've been sweating in this sort of feverish state all day. And so I could really feel that kind of when the breath goes, the toxicity in my body. So that was quite interesting to experience. the loss, that deprivation of oxygen really brought that kind of toxic sense to the fore.
Yeah, for me, it's really interesting for me, it's really interesting to notice how, there's many processes in the body that take some time for you to notice. No, there's many things that definitely take time to notice or to heal. And I've noticed that when you do these breathing exercises, or you think, well, you feel the breathing, the responsiveness, the almost immediate responsiveness of the body, the material responsiveness to breathing, I think it's quite interesting. And yeah, it makes total sense, as Lisa explains, to think about how rivers experience these sort of fluctuations and deprivations of oxygen, and wonder about the same kind of responsiveness that happens.
I would like to comment that at some point I felt really dizzy and got a little scared. But at the end, right now, I feel really relaxed, and I'm surprised because I thought I was going to, be almost all day a little dizzy, but I feel really, really relaxed right now. And also I'm connecting that with the idea of hope, that if I feel relaxed now, as if I cleaned my inside, probably we can hope that with these things that you people do, we can have clean rivers and clean water someday, and not just wait and see how everything stays the same. So I really feel very, very, really relaxed and hopeful right now after the exercise.
Thank you for sharing that, Claudia. We also hope. And it certainly seems that we're living a moment, it depends on the part of the world, but there is a kind of growing momentum behind people reconnecting to bodies of water and to rivers. Certainly in the UK, there's a growing momentum of people wild swimming and kind of re-engaging with those spaces, not in a way that just looks at them as kind of services, but maybe as something that has a water culture that is somewhat more than that, right? More than what it can provide as a service to humans, but as a living thing in itself that deserves and to be honored with the same degree of health. So I think that it's interesting to think about how we get close to those movements or contribute to them or experience them.
I like what you said about hope of living bodies, of surviving. I think that living things are always tending to survive and to keep alive. So like that's our tendency, but let's try to keep on being conscious and aware of nourishing ourselves correctly and nourishing other living creatures around us correctly, because I think that, as Lisa said at the beginning, nowadays we are everything is fast, we are drowning the whole ecosystem, and I think that if we continue in that drowning attitude, attacking attitude of us and the whole ecosystem, I think that at some point it could be that we will all actually drown. But there is hope. Because that's the tendency to keep alive, because there requires a lot of energy to make something live. So when it's alive, it just wants to keep itself alive.
So I want to thank Genietta for this experience. My English is not so good, so I hope you can understand me. I felt with the exercise, I really like the part when you give the metaphor of the diaphragm as the horizon. For me, it was like appear in my head a lot of landscapes and inside of my body. And I think that these kind of exercises as breathing or meditation or the way we try to connect with our bodies, they give us a lot of information and data. And sometimes we think that we only can understand the things in a rational way, but sometimes when we just point our attention in something that maybe we cannot understand, as Emilio said, there are a lot of processes happening inside our body that we don't know, we maybe never going to understand it fully, but if we just give us the chance to pay attention to that, the thing we think we don't understand is going to appear in knowledge, and I really believe in implicit learning. Sometimes when you see something and maybe you don't understand it, just if you pay attention, you're learning. And that also I connected with the learning with the way we learn when we are in contact with the nature. For me, the ocean is for me my big I don't know what to say, but like a being, when a part of the world, I really think I receive a lot of information. And for example, when you are surfing and you are trying to know where to take the wave to surf, you are not thinking in a rational way. You're just accumulating a lot of data to know how the ocean is moving and where you are going to move, and then you in the other days are going to move better in the ocean. So I think that then the attention we place in that action, for example, surfing, we can also place it in our body, and then we have more data to being more in a better relationship with the world and with the others, as Genietta said also. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, Genietta.
No, go.
I was just going to say that, like Lisa stated before, we think it's important to think of the body as like this first interface towards producing knowledge, and yeah, producing. Try to think of the word in English, but yeah, basically producing knowledge, and also in a similar sense through an exercise like breathing, and breathing in different ways, you also gain this knowledge, or you gain this perception of, or by trying to approximate what it's like to be a river, a drowning river, a healthy river, a dying river, whatever. You begin to think of rivers as, and other just non-human entities as life forms, as living things. And I think that's a really important shift that we need to make. So to stop thinking of everything that isn't human as a resource or something that's expendable, but rather think of it as an entity with agency and with life. I think, yeah, that can be done very much through the body.
I would just add, sorry, and to that, I think it's very important in the sense also that in this question about being intimate on a distance, and we like doing this in Zoom and spending the last year and like almost like connected every day. It feels sometimes as if the body would be just something that gets into our way of becoming pure information. Sometimes we just wanted to, we remember about the body because we feel sick about being connected all day, or we have a ache on the back. And so these are all the reminders of the body. And I think these exercises and you know, this awareness, exercises of awareness of the body, they're definitely useful and towards better understanding what we're doing and healing and yeah, like doing this better, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's that kind of really microscopic dimension that we have in our intimacy with ourselves, that we gain an intimacy in ourselves. And then I think there's also a kind of social and political dimension, as well as the kind of philosophical one that Diego was just talking about, of how we kind of hack into the attention economy and change its speed somehow, or how we through breathing can open up brackets in this sped up time that we live within, and create space for ourselves to think more critically as well. I think that that's also something which these sorts of practices enable. They kind of stop the constant flow of data that is kind of permeating us so much, and enable alternative kind of experiences of time that perhaps also call into question the relative health of the way in which we live collectively and within more kind of with bigger structures. And I think that one of the things that lockdown kind of has also opened up for lots of people has been that question of, what does it mean when we stop? What do we learn by stopping? What do we see because it suddenly becomes unfamiliar to us, because we no longer have access to whatever, right? The high street or the spaces of community, and then what kind of values then this was highlighted in those places that we miss, or what do we recognize as being kind of maladaptive to our own ecological health, like as a planet and as individuals, by being able to kind of have that moment of breaking out of the overwhelming stream of data. And I think that that's also something that we want to insist on, I guess, with a lot of these encounters, is those spaces not just to be intimate with ourselves, but to build community and to also think critically about how the world is put together and what structures it, and what other forms of being together are possible as well.
You wanted to say something, Genietta, before?
Well, I was thinking about how breath is like a reminder that we are nature. I think that sometimes we forget that we are also nature. We feel cultured and superior, and I think that breath connects us to the whole ecosystem, and thinking about it and using it and being conscious of it, it's a way to expand oneself, to be a territory, to be a world by ourselves, but at the same time to feel that we are a world by two, by three, and by a whole society, and by the whole world we are in. So yeah, that. And well, thank you everyone for joining me and for breathing with me. I hope that each one of you has made some reflections, and that you will still get out of here still thinking about what the experience that this was, and also visit the webpage and the whole platform, that there are many events coming that reflect on these themes that I think that it's necessary nowadays, and also will make us feel more connected.
Thank you.
All
Very
of
much
the
appreciated.
exercises are all we did are online, and also there's a third exercise that Genietta recorded and scripted, and it's a longer one as well, isn't it? And it involves more movement as well, so it maybe wasn't ideal for this platform and for the time we had, but we'd really invite you to do it. It's called Birth Touching the Core, and it's I think a 15-minute movement practice, and that's also on in the screening room on the live streams exhibition site.
Oops. Oh no, where am I?
I think we need to start wrapping up, Diego, Emilio, and
Yeah.
Jessica.
We're out of time, but yeah, like Genietta said, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Genietta, for leading that. We're going to have a lot more events over the next coming month, and we also invite you to see the exhibition, which you can see online. Well, we've put it in the chat. We'll just put it in again. You can see the exhibition online, and then if you are in the UK, in Essex or surrounding, the physical space is going to be open on the 18th of May. So we hope to see you all there.
And so next Thursday, if you're interested, the same hours, 6 o'clock UK, we're going to have a conversation between the Mexican artist Tania Candiani and Colombian duo De Canatura, and it's a conversation about the relationships between infrastructure and rivers, these sort of close and complex dynamics between those complex things. It's called "Who Tells the Story of Rivers, Plains, and Roads."
Thanks for a really refreshingly different Zoom session. I think it's really important to say that, because this is not like Zooms I've gone to for the last.
Good.
It was constitutive and refreshing in a really nice way. Thank you.
Thank
Not
you.
phrases normally go together, Zoom and refreshing. Just quickly, I was just going to say, it set me up beautifully for the weekend because I'm spending 4 days on a boat on a river. So this is the most beautiful introduction, sailing up and down rivers for 4 days. So thank you very much.
Good luck.
I'll be thinking of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure to do the breathing exercises while you're there. It might
I
be
will. I will.
Okay,
Amazing.
well, thanks so much, everybody. We really hope that you'll continue to join us, and it's